I don't want to be pigeonholed into Indian composer, Tamil composer, because music is universal, and I want to see that what can I bring to new to something Middle Earth kind of tale. Hello,
Hey, Mr. Rahman. Thank you for speaking to CNA Lifestyle today. Where are you actually calling us from today?
I'm in San Francisco now. We have a gig day after, so we finished Vancouver and Tacoma on a tour.
So, you recently brought your virtual reality film, Limas, here to Singapore, and now you're adding your musical touch to the Lord of the Rings musical. How does it feel to bring all of these projects here?
I think Singapore is a vibrant place, and that's probably one of the first foreign cities I've ever visited from Tamil Nadu. And then it became like a whole world tour. It started from Singapore. So I have fond memories of Singapore and the energy which the city brings in. And still, it's not faded, even after I've been there in 86, actually. So it's going to be almost 38 years since I visited Singapore. And it's still vibrant, it's still growing. So I love the fact that people are being looked after.
Was there a particular reason why Singapore was the first country that you traveled out to?
I think we couldn't afford to go to USA and UK and all the Europe and all those places those days. So the nearest place where we can get electronic instruments and musical instruments was Singapore for us.
Are there any go-to places or must-have local dishes you look forward to having when you're here?
In Singapore, I mean, it always used to be Swee Lee and Tom Lee and um, stuff like that. I think 10 years back, I visited the Arts College because I love the architecture, the green thing. It fascinated me how they build it. Of course, we watch movies, go to Orchard Road, and it depends on the mood actually. Because I think Singapore, um, mostly I get mobbed easily. So I go to the places where there are no Indians and more Chinese people out there. So
Yeah, I think the fan base here for you is really crazy. It's amazing to actually see how each project shows a completely different side of you, and you constantly don't do the same things. You're constantly pushing creative boundaries and evolving as an artist. So, how was the experience of creating music for the world of Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings, because I did Bombay Dreams with Andrew Lloyd Webber. The CEO was Kevin Wallace, and when he went out and started his own company, he remembered me and said, "It'll be awesome to have AR in this thing." And there's Matthew Watches along with Vartina and Christopher Nightingale. And for me, it was a non-Indian project, so it was very exciting because I don't want to be pigeonholed into Indian composer, Tamil composer, because music is universal, and I want to see that what can I bring to new to something Middle Earth kind of tale.
Are you a fan of the Lord of the Rings franchise?
It's fascinating. I never knew anything about it till the Peter Jackson one came, and I think the right time for that musical is now, I guess, because
Hmm.
the movies have become old now, but the musical is being reinvented, and it was a very tough one to do. I think right now the adaptation is very cool. It's very immersive, and it still can contain the whole story. And I went and watched the Watermill Theatre one, I think a couple of years back in London. I think there's slightly more enhanced versions are now being put out.
What was your first reaction when this project actually came to you?
My reaction was it was an exciting project because it's a non-Indian project, and that's the kind of thing I want to do more. Indian movies have done enough. I love doing Tamil and Telugu and Hindi and everything. But my question is always, what have Indians contributed to the world? How can we contribute to the mainstream kind of a thing, rather than just doing Asian Indian stuff? And so, in that perspective, I think it was a big achievement doing the music for the Lord of the Rings, even though it doesn't have an Indian kind of influence in it. I studied Western classical music, and I'm a big fan of Irish music and Nordic music and African, all these world cultures. So I thought I could bring something new to this whole.
You've worked alongside some really big names, such as Matthew Workers on this project, and even the Finnish folk band Vertina. So, how was it like working alongside someone from a slightly different background, and how was the overall experience working with the team?
By the time I was writing in 2004 the music for the Lord of the Rings, I I already spent 2, 3 years in London, and it helped me to realize where I am musically in my consciousness, what I have to learn or what I have to unlearn. And I was in that zone, so it was great. And even in fact, that experience is helping me even now, because Matthew Watch is a very critically acclaimed kind of director. His vision for musical theater is completely different from what Andrew Lloyd Webber would do. So it is nice to see both the sides of musical theater.
So when we think of the Lord of the Rings, the Middle Earth instantly comes to our minds. So it's full of different lands, cultures, emotions, and its reach of characters. So how did you bring that diversity into your music?
I think both of us started working simultaneously. Vatina came in, they did the Middle Earth kind of thing, and I had to do the most cinematic, the war and all that stuff. So it's a mingling of all these melodies. So it was a cool process. It was sometimes very dark for me, because a lot of the Rings goes to a very, very dark stage, unbearably dark stage. So while writing and record, it was a bit too much. But I think we did it, and it ran well, but it couldn't sustain because the expense was more than what was coming in.
So some of your works usually have a very emotional and spiritual element to it. So some of your works that I was really impressed by is Kun Faya Kun from Rockstar and Khwaja Mere Khwaja from Joda Akbar, and even the recent scores that you did for Good Life. So how did you bring your personal touch into the musical?
That's the way I made. So we are what our choices are. Our work is what our choices of listening or writing, or even the fonts and even the typography and the images we put, the poster we put. Lately, I've been kind of controlling that, so that my real feel of what I want the people to see of myself, my evolution, comes through better. So more than music, I think every poster goes through iteration after iteration after iteration, and every promo goes through that stuff, so that people don't think that some third person is doing it. Like, it goes through my field, so that in the future, when we do like musical theater or anything in India, from India, produced from India, it'll have a certain kind of quality which will be very unique.
So what kind of instruments did you have to use for this musical?
Mostly orchestral. There was a nickel harpa, which is a very Middle Earth kind of a Finnish instrument, and even voices. We got a Bosnian lady called Alma Farovic, and of course you might have seen her in Rockstar also. Like Hava Hava. She's that girl.
So what was like some challenges that you faced when you were creating music for the musical?
Home food, because I was mostly working in London that time, and I was missing home. I had to stay there for like a month or two and come back, go back again. I was trying to manage film scores in India, and that those are the challenges. But it was worth it, I think.
We saw that your recent selfie with Hans Zimmer has gone viral, especially following the collaboration on the Bollywood film Ramayana. So it's a very big project for the Indian film industry, and this is definitely a monumental collaboration. So, what is something that you can actually tell us about this project, and what excites you most about it?
I think we know that Ramayana is a cultural, work. Beyond the belief, it's a cultural identity for India, and I'm so proud that I'm part of it. And also working with Hans Zimmer, he had given me invitations 15 years back. Let's do something together, but I was busy with my own work, and it's nice to take that invitation which he wanted, and it's all coming together. It's like a full circle.
What else can fans actually look forward from you in the near future?
I didn't want to limit myself to just as a composer or as a musician. I think art is like an ocean, right? That we have a lot of challenges now. We have to reinvent everything to engage people, because people are looking for excitement, people are looking for new things, people are looking for quality, and that quality will come only when we try different things. If you look at what's happening in Vegas, there's a big thing called the Sphere. And once you watch something there, you will never want to go to a movie theater, because the experience is so immersive and so beautiful and so powerful. It's almost spiritual. Like when you see a forest, or when you see things, the space and everything there, that's when it takes you there. So we live in a time of reinventing, regenerating art, entertainment, and everything. So I'm glad I'm a part of it.
So, do you have a very proud work of yours or like a favorite piece of work of yours?
Yet to come.
Okay, I'm excited to watch it. Thank you so much, Mr. Rahman.
Nashita, thank you so much. God bless you.